Hey guys, how's it going? It's Sunday already, man. Wow. The weekend has flown by like crazy, and last week went by so damn slow. But I hope everyone's doing good. I'm about to watch the Clippers and Suns game after I do this, but man, I had no fucking idea what I was gonna make this week. So much happened, but yet I don't know if it was good to talk about it, like the Chris situation from Mr. Beast. Like, I wanted to make a video on it, but then I feel like my opinion on it wouldn't have come out the correct way and it would have upset people, so I just decided not to do it. So, I'm going to do something a little fun and different today, and that is a fast food tier list. Now, I have been very fortunate for my fat ass. I'm not fat, by the way. I just eat like I'm fat. But anyways, I've been very fortunate to grow up in North Texas to where I feel like I've had probably about most of this list on here, which is awesome. Like, I've had In-N-Out, Shake Shack, and Whataburger pretty much all on the same street here, which is crazy if you think about it. So, yeah, so here we go for the tier list. I'm just going to start in order and go by as we go. So, yeah. A&W, man, I haven't had A&W since I was like 8. I can't really remember it. I remember Long John Silver's being connected to it, and the only thing I would get from here is the root beer. Like I said, I haven't had it since I was probably like 8, so I'm just gonna put this in D tier, just because I don't know if it's like average or below average, so I'll put it in D tier because I kind of can't remember it. Arby's. Arby's is overhated, okay? For the fries alone, I think it's a C tier for the fries alone. Now, the sandwiches, they can get kind of iffy. The chicken sandwich, not really good. It's actually kind of small. Like, the circumference is good, but the everything else, and some of the other sides are meh. I do like the horsey sauce or horseradish or whatever it is, but yeah. Baja Fresh, never had. Blimpies, never had. Bojangles is on my list. It's on my wish list. I hear really good things about them, even the biscuits, so I'm gonna put Bojangles there. Boston Market, I've probably had Boston Market twice in my life, and I think that's for obvious reasons why it's F tier. Burger King. Now, Burger King is a dilemma. I think Burger King is a little overhated, but the problem that they have is the employees working there. And that's kind of for all of these. Like, if I rank them a certain way, it's probably because it's location based. Like, for example, Boston Market. All the times I've had them, it's been pretty dog shit, but you might have had them at a different one and it's been bussin', so that's why it's on F tier. So Burger King, I call it the coin toss restaurant, and that's because Burger King and another one on here, another one on here, if you go there, it's a 50-50 chance of it's either good or it's just absolutely terrible. So because of that, I'm putting Burger King there, because there's times like I'll avoid it where like just the vibe of my day, I'd be like, they're probably not going to be good. Cane's, that's going to be a B tier for me. The sauce and the toast do carry it. I think if they didn't have those things, it would honestly be a C tier. But yeah, Carl's Jr., you know, I've had them before, but I don't really remember it at all. So I'm going to put Carl's Jr., Hardee's in D tier. Checkers, never had, actually. I've had their french fries from the grocery store, but I never had like a restaurant. Chick-fil-A, I'm gonna put it in the same league as Cane's. I do think Chick-fil-A is a little bit overrated. Like, for how long the line is, you would think it's like some locally owned gym that you find, but no, they're everywhere and their lines are ridiculously long. The prices have gone up, but their portions are surprisingly small for how much you pay. Like, the chicken sandwiches you get, like, at least for me, are tiny. And the chicken's always dry and you have to drown it in sauce despite how much freaking sodium the chicken has. So, yeah, Chick-fil-A, it's still good, don't get me wrong, but it's a little bit overrated. Chipotle, I do like a Chipotle, but I think it's kind of the same problem as Chick-fil-A, so it's going in B tier. Churches, that's a solid C tier. Not enough said there. Solid food, but they can be a little inconsistent sometimes. And the sides are good. The biscuits could be but yeah, Churches is pretty solid. Cookout, I've only had Cookout once in my life, and unfortunately, despite all the great things I hear about it, the time I had it, man, it was so bad. So I'm gonna have to give it a B, or give it F tier. I hate to say it, man. I do want to give them another chance, though, just because of all the great things I heard about it. But the day I went there, my burger was dry. I even got the box with like the 2 entrees. I got a hot dog and a burger and 2 sides. The onion rings were good. I remember the onion rings, and I got the Cajun fries, I think. But the burger was dry. The hot dog tasted like it had been sitting there for a while. So yeah, I would like to go back and give them another chance, though. Culver's, this is my favorite. This is what I'm putting at the best. Menu variety, check. Prices aren't outrageous, check. Fresh quality food, check. Does it taste good as well? Check. Culver's is the best in my opinion. Just excellent food all around. The fries are really good too. The food packs a bunch of flavor in it. Just a solid restaurant. I love Culver's, and believe it or not, Culver's is about a 30-minute drive away from me, and about every 3 or 4 weeks I will make that drive to go to Culver's specifically. That's how good it is to me. Okay, Del Taco. I've never had Del Taco, so yeah. Denny's, I wouldn't consider this a fast food, but I think Denny's is sometime overhated. But man, all the times I've gone there, as much of a chance I try to give them, it's honestly a D tier. I would like to put them in a C tier for just an average place, but the restaurants are dirty, the staff is kind of and the food is okay, but I feel like breakfast food can only get good to a certain point unless you just make it right there, right then and there. And yeah, Denny's, I just feel like there's a lot of potential that can be had with their food, but they just don't execute it. I guess they kind of stick with the if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Domino's. Now, I do like me some Domino's, but they're kind of inconsistent too. I'm gonna put them in C. I do think they're one of the better out of the pizza places. Not by much, but yeah, Domino's is solid. They're cheap. If you get the I think it's the $5.99 carryout or whatever, and yeah, you can't complain about Domino's unless everything's just messed up, which I've had a couple times. Dairy Queen is bottom tier. The ice cream's good, but even then, compared to the Culver's and some other restaurants on here, the ice cream doesn't even carry at all. Dairy Queen just has a lot of work. They used to have one ice cream I really liked. It was a butterscotch dip, and they got rid of it, and now they only do a chocolate dip cone. So because of that, and I'm still kind of salty about it, they're going F. Now Pollo Loco was actually my first job. So I kind of have a lot of insight to how the food is made there, and most of it's actually really fresh, so I do give them props for that. And the flavor is actually kind of good, but at the end of the day, it's grilled chicken. So I'm gonna give it a C tier, and I would rather have Churches over them, but that's just a preference for me. But I think objectively speaking, Pollo Loco and Churches are probably on the same tier. Firehouse Subs, man. If I had a stimulus check right now, I would probably go to Firehouse Subs. They are so good, but the prices kind of bring them down one. So I think because of their price, that's keeping them from an A tier. So I'm going to have to give them a B. Same exact deal with Five Guys. Five Guys is so solid, but man, it is just not worth the price. And now we are at IHOP. Now, I'm not the biggest breakfast person. Take that back. I do like breakfast food. I'm not a big pancake guy. I don't like my breakfast food tasting like dessert, and I feel like that's where IHOP really specializes at. But the rest of their breakfast food is pretty solid. So because of that, I think they're a tier above Denny's, but they're not good enough to be a B tier. In-N-Out Burger, very solid restaurant, fresh ingredients, they're super cheap. The fries, we all know about their fries if you've had them, but the shakes and the burgers, I mean, they're solid. I think it's an A tier. I think Five Guys has a better burger, but I see myself going to In-N-Out more just because of the price and the convenience of it. So I think because of that, In-N-Out ranks better. Jack in the Box, I don't really eat Jack in the Box that much, but the couple times I've had them, it's been kind of below par for me. So I think because of that, I'm going to have to give them a D. Jersey Mike's, this is my go-to sandwich shop. Just super solid, fresh ingredients. Number 4 Mike's Way is the best thing on the menu by far. And yeah, they're an A tier. Jimmy John's, they're good, just not really my preference. They just taste less bland than Jersey Mike's. I don't know what it is. Maybe they don't have a Jimmy's Way or something. That's probably why. So I'm going to put them in a tier below Jersey Mike's. Jollibee. This is on my list. There's one. It's about an hour away from me, and I have yet to go there. But I really want to try it. I've heard nothing but amazing things about it, but never had. KFC. Man, I haven't had a KFC in so long. There's not really one near my house. Surprisingly, I kind of have to go out of my way for it. But the times I've had KFC, they've been pretty good. So I think it's going to be a C tier, which is average. Just pretty good. Little Caesars, they got a special place in my heart. Now, they did raise their prices recently, and I'm so pissed. I haven't had them nearly as much since they raised their prices, because that $5 hot and ready pizza with, like, I think it was the $2.99 crazy bread. Maybe it was $1.99. I don't remember, but now it's like $4.99. Came in clutch for me back when I had no money. So, and if you get them right when they're hot, it's some of the best pizza you'll have for the monies. But if you don't get them while they're hot, it's kind of bad. So I'm going to put them just below Domino's. I think that's only fair. But I think if you get Little Caesars when they're fresh, it's in the same league as a Domino's. Long John Silver's, I don't know how they're still around. They're not good at all. Last time I had them, I think I got sick when I had them, which kind of sucks because I do love seafood, and in North Texas, that's kind of the one thing we do lack is good seafood. Now, we have like Razzoos and shit, but like a good fish and chips place, we don't really got that. McDonald's, actually, no. They're going B tier just because their prices are starting to get out of hand too. Man, I remember back in high school, I used to like live off of the $5 20-piece McNugget. Now it's like $8 for a 20-piece. And they got rid of the dollar any size soda. Like, why, man? Why the hell would you get rid of the $1 any size drink? That was a staple that they had. And I remember the first time they got rid of that, I was like, how much? That's ridiculous. And then the fries, I don't know if y'all seen the fries, how much they are, but that's gotten out of hand too. Now, every time I do go there now, I do use the app, and the app does come in clutch, but I mean, if I'm hungry and I'm in a hurry, I shouldn't have to like load up my phone as I'm driving to see what kind of deals you got. So they would have been an A tier. That's why I put them up there first. And then I kind of remembered how expensive they got. And I kind of dropped them down one. I hate to say it because McDonald's is the home away from home. Like, if I'm in a different state, even a different country, and I see those golden arches, I know I can expect a meal that kind of tastes like home. So that's why they're kind of high up on the list for me. Moe's Southwest Grill. This is that Chipotle knockoff, right? Or am I thinking of a different one? I don't know. I don't think I've had them. Noodles and Company. Never heard of that. Panda Express. This is my guilty pleasure one, guys. Now, they're not really good if you compare them to other Chinese food. But as a fast food restaurant, they're solid. Their prices are good. You get a good amount of food. And it's different. Like, it's not a burger and french fries or fried chicken. It's chicken and rice, an egg roll, some soup, which, I do appreciate. So I think Panda for me, I don't think it's an A tier. I wouldn't put it in the same league as Jersey Mike's or In-N-Out, but I think it's a solid B. Panera. Now, I think this is the most overrated chain restaurant place I can think of. Panera is so overrated. The bread, it is an exercise to chew the fucking bread at this place, man. I hate it. Especially when I got places like McAllister's right around the corner, or hell, even Jason's Deli. Like, Panera just falls short compared to those two, and I just have never been a fan when I go there, and you pay premium prices for it. Papa John's is solid. I think their pizza's a little bit better than Domino's, especially when you get that garlic butter dipping sauce. Come on, man. My mouth's watering just thinking of that garlic butter. But the sides at Papa John's compared to Domino's are kind of lackluster. But I'm going to put it in the same league as Domino's just because when I want pizza, I do go back and forth between those two. PDQ. This is a Florida chain, right? I think this is on my list too, but I've never had them. Penn Station. Never heard of that. Pizza Hut. These are the best damn breadsticks in the game. I don't care what anyone has to say. Yes, they're better than the crazy bread at Little Caesars. But the pizza is hit or miss sometimes. Kind of like Little Caesars. Like, it really depends on who's working there. They kind of have the same thing Burger King got going on. Like, it's a coin toss. Popeyes, same exact deal. But the chicken sandwich is way better than Chick-fil-A's. Like, it's facts. Like, the pickles alone. So, Popeyes, when they're good, they're really good. I'm going to put them in a B tier. Or C tier. Sorry. Just because they get... I'm going to put them in a C tier. Even though they do have the same thing that Burger King and Pizza Hut have, where it's a coin toss. And you just don't know if it's going to be good or not. But when they're good, Popeyes, when Popeyes is good, they're up here. They're an A tier. But they're more bad than they are good. So it's dropping down quite a bit for me. Portillo's. Now, we just had one of these open up recently here. And I went there about 3 weeks ago. I have had them before when I traveled. And Portillo's is solid, especially the chocolate cake shake. That's a big standout milkshake for me. And the Chicago dog is good, but the Italian beef was kind of lackluster for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm a Texan and I've just, not used to it. But I'd rather have a Philly than an Italian beef. Maybe that's, if you're from Chicago, I'm sorry if that's offensive, but Portillo's is good. I really like Portillo's. I'm going to give them a solid B tier. The fries, they're kind of but those hot dogs are amazing. That was my first time having a Chicago style dog, and it's easily my favorite. Before that, it was chili cheese dogs, but after having a Chicago style dog, Portillo's, yeah, They're a B tier. Um, Maybe they can work out a few kinks, and maybe the Italian beef felt a little lackluster just because of how busy the one here is. Um, I think they said they make like 40 grand a day at the location that they opened up here in Texas. Like, it's crazy. And the line that I waited in said so. So maybe once they die down a little bit and can kind of focus on um, quality over quantity, it could get in the A tier. I think it does have the potential to be in an A tier, but yeah, they're a solid 8 out of 10, I guess. Potbelly, they're a good sandwich shop, but I can never remember what they taste like. Like, I remember fond experiences at my local Potbelly, but I can never remember why it was fond, if that makes sense. So because of that, I'm just gonna have to give it a C tier. I'm sorry. Qdoba. Oh, this might be the Chipotle ripoff. I don't know. I've never had it either. Never had Quiznos. I didn't even know they. Roy Rogers. Don't think I've heard of that. Sbarro. This is mall pizza. That's all I gotta say. Schlotsky's. I don't think I've ever had them. Shake Shack. I love me some Shake Shack. They are solid, and their burger is better than Five Guys. Their burger actually tastes very similar to Culver's burger, which I really like. But Five Guys, the reason why it's not ranked the same as Culver's is the prices. They're kind of pricey, and their portions aren't as big either. So yeah, but Shake Shack is very solid. I love me a Shake Shack. Sheets? Nope. What is this? Skyline? Haven't heard of that. Sonic is road trip food for me. That's what I associate it with, just because every time I'm on a road trip, if it's not Buc-ee's I'm having, it's Sonic. And I mean, I can't complain, but there's nothing really special about it, so it's a C tier for me. I would rather go to Sonic than Burger King for sure. So yeah, it's a C tier. Steak and Shake. This is such a fond restaurant from my childhood, and all of the locations around me have been stripped away from me. Steak and Shake's fries are something else. I remember the burgers being awesome, but I haven't had them in so long because they've been stripped away from me, and yeah, it's just so sad. I miss Steak and Shake. I find myself craving them every once in a while. Yeah, the only thing I remember about them really is how good the food was, but how long you had to wait for the food, which is unfortunate. So because of that, I'm not going to put them on F tier, but I'm going to put them in D tier just because I haven't had them in so long, and I remember the wait being crazy. Subway kind of fell into the same thing McDonald's kind of fell into. Like, they used to be pretty good until they just started being super cheap, but not for the customer, if that makes sense. Like, the restaurant, the food quality felt like it was getting cheaper, but for the customer it was getting more expensive. So because of that, Subway, I just find myself avoiding them now, and that's a D tier as well. Swenson's, never had. Taco Bell, this might be kind of crazy, but it's an A tier for me. Actually, no. Looking at the other choices down there, I see 2 other taco places. No, Taco Bell's a B tier. That's my fault. I should have looked at those. Yeah, Taco Bell's good. They're cheap. Every time I go there, they're pretty reliable, like, across the board. I've never had, like, a bad experience at a Taco Bell. The only thing I really have to complain about them is just how much it makes me shit afterwards. But, I mean, hey, they're there. They're one of the few places around that's opened up late other than In-N-Out, Whataburger, Waffle House. So yeah, Taco Bell's a really solid choice. I just kind of hate how much they rotate their menu. I wish they can kind of chill out with that. Like, if you're gonna give me nacho fries, keep them on the damn menu. Stop taking them away from me and then bringing them back. It's terrible. Taco Cabana. I love Taco Cabana. Taco Cabana is A tier for me. I think they're a Texas chain, actually. But yeah, one of the things I love about Taco Cabana is they make their tortillas in-house. Like, when you go in there, you can see them making the tortillas. And for a fast food place, that's impressive, because here in Texas, the only other time I see that is at, like, an actual Mexican food restaurant. So seeing them make the tortillas in-house at a fast food taco place, solid. So, and they do margaritas there, which is awesome. You can get margaritas in the drive-thru. Who doesn't love that? Torchy's tacos. Now, they're not like your traditional taco, but they're still really good. I love me a Torchy's taco. I think my favorite one there is called the Trailer Park, and I want to say the Democrat is the other one. Some amazing food, and their queso there is some of the best queso I've ever had. Very good, but they're not like your traditional tacos. Like the Trailer Park one, I think it's like a chicken strip and queso and other shit in it. So like, it's not like, a crunchy beef taco or a taco al carbone. It's, Americanized tacos, but it's still very fucking good. Waffle House. I love Waffle House, man. I went there for the first time last year, and it was like 1 a.m. and I was like, whoa, the vibe in here is just like, you feel like you step back in time. The staff, at least at the one I went to, was like hella chill. They were playing like music and shit. Like, they were having a good time. And the food, it's cooked right there in front of you. It's not like, it's not the freshest, but the fact that it's cooked right there and then they just hand it to you as soon as it's done, and that plate is piping hot at the bottom. I love Waffle House. And now, ever since that time I first had them, Waffle House is my go-to place to eat when I'm hungry at like midnight. It's so awesome. And if you guys haven't been there, go to one. It's totally worth it. Wawa. Never had Wawa. Like, we have Buc-ee's here. Buc-ee's is pretty good. Wendy's. Wendy's, you're on my shit list for getting rid of the 4 for $4. I don't even know where to put you, Wendy's. Because I only ate the 4 for $4 when I went there. I ate nothing else. I guess a C tier. They were a B tier. But ever since they got rid of the 4 for $4, C. Whataburger. Whataburger is very good. Don't get me wrong. But the last couple times I've been, there's 2 locations I usually go to because they're kind of the same distance from where I live, and both of them have gone downhill so bad. So because of that, I'm gonna put them in C as well. I've been going to McDonald's more than Whataburger ever since then, and yeah, even In-N-Out. I've been going to In-N-Out ever since then. Now, I want to settle this debate right now. As a Texan who's had both, there's literally one right next to the other. In-N-Out and Whataburger. If you go there and you get a plain burger, just bread, meat, and cheese, they taste the exact same. I'm not even joking. I did this. I had Whataburger like one night, and then the next day I went to In-N-Out for lunch, and I got plain burgers at both of them. They taste identical when you do that. So this whole debate of which one's better needs to stop, because the burgers honestly taste the same. It's a preference to what toppings you like, really. That's all it comes down to. So and the consistency of the restaurant. And In-N-Out does have a better consistency rate, so I think that's why a lot of people say they're better than In-N-Out. But when it comes down to just taste, to me they taste the same until you put the different toppings on the burgers. So take what you will with that. White Castle, they're the top of my list for places I want to try and haven't. White Castle, if you're somehow listening to this video, please come to Texas. Please. I love Harold and Kumar. I love sliders. And I love places that are open up late. There are not enough places that are open up late around. It's basically Whataburger, Taco Bell, and Waffle House. In-N-Out too. That's it. Those are the only places that are really open up late. And even Walmart's not 24 hours anymore. Like, what's up? What the fuck is up with that? So yeah, if you're from White Castle and you're watching this, come to Texas. You're gonna be successful as fuck. What is this? Wiener Schnitzel? That's a crazy logo. Missionary Schnitzel. That's enough said there. Wings. Never heard of that either. Wingstop. I love me some Wingstop, man. A tier. Best French fries on the planet. Zaxby's. They're not that good. They're not, but they're not bad either. Like, I wouldn't rank them with Dairy Queen, but they're a D. So, yeah, here we go. Here is my chain restaurant tier list, I guess. I would say fast food, but IHOP is on here and Denny's for some reason. So, even Steak and Shake. So, yeah, I wouldn't say fast food, but I guess popular chain restaurants. So, yeah, man, if you guys enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, subscribe and comment down below your thoughts on this. I'm sure everyone has different thoughts. Like I said, a lot of these are just location dependent. Like, I'm sure like my Cookout ranking is probably a lot higher for other people just because I went to a bad location. And unfortunately, that's the problem with so many of these tier lists is like you'll watch these and be like, what the hell? No, Cookout should be A. It's so good. And it's like, well, you know, you gotta keep in mind people go to different locations and these are all chain restaurants. So, you know, some locations gotta be good if they're able to expand, you know, the hundreds of restaurants. So yeah, man. So like I said, that's gonna be it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys for more Resident Evil. By the way, sorry for not making any Resident Evil. I went on like a 10-mile hike yesterday. I'm not even exaggerating. And I'm like Professor X right now. I can't feel my legs. So yeah, man. So that's why. So I'll get back into making more Resident Evil. But yeah, man. Peace out.